The cake recipe from the final scene. Magic double picture. Amogus. And all the secrets and Easter eggs from Rainbow Friends that you might not know anything about. Let's go! Amogus is behind bars. Yes, this is true. In the passage right behind the green monster is Amogus, and this fact is a little shocking me. Does this mean that the developers are fans of Among Us? The image of the green monster is very similar to the Iron Man, if you saw such a thing somewhere. A giant air man, then it twitches quite terribly when the wind blows. Perhaps the developer was inspired by it and came up with the green monster. Although in the game its movements are quite smooth, but the attacks quite tough, unlike other monsters. Fun fact, at the main location where the bus stands, from which the whole game actually begins. As many as 2 sudden chips that you never noticed. The first is that the bus on which we are living, and the bus in which all the players who entered it then sit. They are 2 completely different buses. This bus has only 2 rows of seats. Well, in the second scene, the bus is equipped with 4 rows of seats and the passage between them is wider. There must be some mistake here. Some mistake. I wonder how the developers let this happen, but the next Easter egg made me really interested in the Easter eggs in this game. The Easter egg is right here, behind this house. We have to go a little and immediately turn right behind the house. And right behind the house, such an interesting Easter egg. 3 dudes named Charcoal, and this is a developer of game. A reference to him and his game, not Rainbow Friends, but his game named Little Ones. This game about running crazy dolls that can attack you and stab you with a pin. Charcoal's game is little known, but I advise you to check it out. And Royston Ford is also the developer of the more famous Spider game. I think you heard about it. He is also the administrator of the group Fragment Games. He and Charcoal developed the game Rainbow Friends. I think all 4 of them participated in the development of Rainbow Friends. The next cool Easter egg that you never saw in full, a short video where we see for the first time the paw of the orange monster. And hop! Ta-dam! The orange monster stands on 2 legs, and he pours his own food. What about more complex Easter eggs? And mystical Easter eggs that only add complexity? In fact, you could notice this bunch of Easter eggs at the very beginning of the map, in the mini museum of Rainbow Friends, but you did not know their true meaning at all. This is the place where they were all created. And some mysterious machine similar to a cryogenic chamber for eternal sleep. If you get into it, the door will close, but nothing will happen and you can safely exit. You can also hide from monsters in it. Hemlock Woods is a woodland called hemlock. Interestingly, this word is also mean as hemlock as a poisonous plant containing poison. Boxes are made from wood, sometimes tea, and perfumes are made from leaves Hemlock Woods. Hemlock Woods is the home of the Rainbow Friends, so the whole place is supposedly located in Hemlock Woods in Canada. And this puzzle quite possibly duplicates the landscape of the forest. A natural forest in a dirty terrarium which no one pays attention to at all stands here for a reason. Trenton. Alas, it is not known who this character is, but most likely this is a character of the game's plot and he is related to the creation of Friends. And by the way, if you look through the terrarium, his portrait changes. He has a hat and glasses, and he actually looks like an old man. And here is the second portrait already signed by the founder, Oscar D. Davis. And if you look at it through the glass, it just disappears from the frame. This speaks of the disappearance of the founder. Perhaps Trenton was a co-founder, something happened, the founder disappeared, and only an elderly Trenton remained. But in the game itself we will not meet him. Maybe he's already in another place, and do you think he's involved in the disappearance of the founder? A tape recorder that was used to voice Friends. What? Voice acting? Yes, an awesome plot Easter egg. The creators of Friends in the game came up with an animated show and used a tape recorder to record voice acting. In the game itself we will not see this show, but we can meet the cartoon image of some Friends. Sketchbook, well, you probably understood yourself. The original drawings of Friends are stored here for the creation of the Rainbow Funtime Friends cartoon show. In 1991, the first friend was created, Blue. And here we see a boy standing next to a friend. The photo looks friendly and doesn't look like the monster will attack. Also, the monster has a closed mouth and has both eyes. So I think that the chronology of the creating of monsters corresponds to their appearance during the game. But at the very beginning of the map, on the floor, we see multicolored circles corresponding to the colors of the monsters, but in a different order. And besides, there is also a pink circle, but there is no pink monster in the game. so strange and confusingly. Remember the place where you can't go. It is boarded up. It can be assumed that there is one more exit. Unfortunately, there is nothing behind the boards, just a small move that leads nowhere. Also, those who are especially attentive could notice that the map is organized in its own way as a kind of camp. This is evidenced by the rest room, which we find ourselves in after the end of the level, as well as a real shower room, which is interesting for people. Yes, shower room for people. Because there is also a shower for monsters in the game. It is equipped with chains, maybe the monsters don't really like to wash themselves. Also, in this place are pens for animals. Perhaps once it was assumed that monsters would live here and rest from performances in the theater, and at the same time they would be under control. Warning posters have also been posted throughout the facility. Do not let the blue monster hug you, as he may be hungry. And a warning that the green monster is blind and does not see us. You should step more carefully when you are around. Apparently because he can grab you and eat you out of fright. There are two guard points on the map. The first is located at the top, the second at the bottom of the map. At the first point there is a warehouse with ammunition and a safe for weapons, a bunch of monitors for monitoring as well as a camera inside, and weapons should probably hang here. But these cartridges are not only for the pistol. So many large caliber cartridges were needed to cope in case of emergency, with a particularly large problem, larger than bandits or thieves. The door says make sure the door is closed. The second security cabin looks more like a checkpoint, which suggests that this place is still partly underground. The same is said about the mine inside the building. This unusual location could be part of the entertainment. There is a brick-filled passage in the mine. That is, the mine here was created before this entertainment center. The rock in the mine looks like Mr. Incredible, the main meme of the outgoing year. An interesting fact is that the entire map is essentially divided into service rooms and rooms for guests to visit. That is, they definitely planned some kind of entertainment here, or try to disguise as much as possible a secret base with experiments. But we do not find any secret developments. In fact, it looks like this place could become friendly and gather a lot of children, but something went wrong. Pipes are leaking somewhere and workers don't fix it. There are holes in the ceilings in some places. Some passages are littered with debris, the scenery is lying around. The theater seems to be abandoned. Something definitely went wrong, considering that the founder disappeared somewhere. The party cake in the final game location is an Easter egg for the game Half-Life. And it is here as a legendary message: the cake is a lie. This is the most ingenious Easter egg in Rainbow Friends ever. It confirms the not-so-good intentions of the red monster. It is very good that in the end we still run away, because it is not known what this crazy monster wanted to do with us. And it's good that his strange machine with parts of the Roblox character did not start. Also, a good fact for you: this cake exists in life. It is called Black Forest. Here are its ingredients. This is a chocolate cherry cake. You can make it if you Google the recipe on the internet. The purple monster in the game is only partly visible. We can say that it has long purple hands with long fingers and large round eyes, as well as sharp shiny teeth. This can be seen on the screamer when it catches us. The purple monster moves through the ventilation, but it is not in the game. And also, apart from the eyes and hands, the purple monster no longer has models. There is a book with drawings of monsters in a small museum. There may be a drawing of a purple monster, but we cannot see it. Also, in the last location there are drawings of monsters on the wall, but purple is not among them. And also, there is no purple monster on the textures for the box. We can conclude that purple is the newest monster of Friends, and it hides from prying eyes in the ventilation. It may look quite defenseless, and the most popular version of its appearance is currently presented on the screen. It's also used in the FNF vs Rainbow Friends mod. And the entire path of the purple monster consists of cubes, along with the monster spawn cube moves. The cubes make a sound, indicating that he is moving across the map, which really gives the illusion that he is scrolling through the vents. And the implementation is quite interesting. And this lets us know its approximate location on the map. In a location with a fictional castle in a room upstairs, there is an inscription by a strange board. "You only slowed me down." Sounds like a terrible message to someone. What do you think? Someone left this legacy to the founder, or maybe to the working staff? Fact about the red monster. It looks like this monster is the same boy in the photo with the blue monster. This can be indicated by the appearance of his model. It matches exactly. What cannot be said about the model of the founder and his theoretical colleagues? By the way, from this picture comes a strange, incomprehensible mystical sound. This tells us that this picture is not ordinary. Here, listen for yourself. Well, what do you think? What might this sound be like? It's not at all clear what that means. There is no such sound from other paintings, and there is no other similar source of sound in the building either. Why the boy became a monster, willingly or not, is not exactly clear. It is only clear that he is willingly trying to keep us here as long as possible, and that it was he who turned the sign and dragged us here. Perhaps he's looking for victims to make new friends, but unlike them, he knows human language and controls his behavior. Like the video? Be sure to like, write any comment for promotion, and until new videos, subscribe for more.